The Out of Africa theory was strategically created by white supremacists to erase the black indigenous presence in the Americas. This theory is outdated, it has already been debunked, and I'm going to debunk it once more for all of those that are still clinging on to this lie. What they'll tell you is that life started in Africa and that all human beings on this earth can trace their DNA back to the San people, who are African Bushmen that live in southern Africa, because their DNA is 200,000 years old. But what they won't tell you about is a foundational black American from South Carolina by the name of Albert Perry, who has the oldest DNA in the world. When scientists examined the DNA of Albert Perry, an African American man from South Carolina, they uncovered a genetic mystery that rewrote the history of humankind. Dating back more than 300,000 years, his bloodline diverged from all other modern humans long before the appearance of Homo sapiens as we know them. In other words, this South Carolinian, a man born into a legacy of slavery, carried within him the oldest genetic signature of the human race. This man's DNA was at least 100,000 years older than any African. And so if we come from the Africans, why is our DNA 100,000 plus years older? It doesn't make any sense. Another problem with the Out of Africa theory is that life starts where the water starts. But if we look at how many fresh bodies of water that Africa has, as big as it is, it only has 677. As big as it is, North America has significantly more fresh bodies of water than Africa does. And in Canada alone, there is over 2 million. 2 million! Not only was the oldest human DNA found in America, but the oldest animal fossils were found in America. The oldest trees were found in America. The oldest pyramid structures were found in America. Not Egypt. Even the founder of ancient Egypt, which is the quote-unquote cradle of civilization, said he came from the West. That's in America. Come on now. And when they looked at the oldest human skeletal remains found in the Americas, which was Lucia, this is what her face looked like when they did a facial reconstruction of her skeleton. What race does that fit? I'm not even going to give you the answer. I'll let you figure that out for yourself. We were already here. Yes, the transatlantic slave trade was a real thing. Yes, there were Africans brought to the Americas. But out of the 12 million Africans that were brought to the Americas, only 388,000 of them were brought to the U.S. Do you know how many black people there are in the U.S. today? There's 48 million of them. How can 300,000 people produce 48 million descendants in just 400 years? Yes, I know they were breeding a lot of slaves, but you can't breed that much people. That's impossible. Most of us had to have already been here. The lies need to stop. Most of us are indigenous to this land. And do not let somebody tell you that they brought all of us over here, because that is a complete lie. That's why they changed our name and our ethnicity so many millions of times, so that we wouldn't know who we were. But happy Black History Month.